What's up everyone, this is your boy Yaki with TVO coming through with another TVO Teaches, and today we are going to be going over the duelist Wanda Maximoff aka Scarlet Witch. Now currently in the game she is listed as a 1-star character. I've been seeing her at the bottom of a lot of tier lists, but oh my goodness, she is such a great and powerful character. And 9 times out of 10 people are just playing her wrong. And so what we're going to do here is just break down this character in full effect. We're going to be going over the tips, the advanced tricks, and the techniques to become an impact player for your team. Let's hop right into it. Alright guys, so first things first, let's quickly go over her moveset. Her normal attack is called Chaaoosss Control. It's a beam of energy that has no reload or cooldown. It has a deceptively long range at 20 meters with a 3-meter radius, which really reduces the need for precise aim. Now, while that may sound nice, the cost of this is that it isn't a high damage output, having a base damage of 5 plus an additional 0.5% of the enemy's max health per hit. Now when you use this move, you actually charge up Scarlet's secondary attack called Thonian Burst. This is her burst damage move. It's a straight line projectile that has a max of 4 charges. It does AoE damage, and it has a similar damage radius to her Chaaoosss Control of 3 meters. And one of the beauties behind it is that it actually has no max distance limitation. So you can literally shoot this from across the map. Moving on to her abilities, this first one is called Dark Seal, and this is an underrated move. This ability is also a straight line projectile with a cooldown of 12 seconds. After firing, once it comes into contact with any enemy or object, it creates a sphere 6 meters wide and will stun any enemies that touch or walk through it for 0.5 seconds. Now just like her Thonian Burst, there's also no distance limitation, but the nice thing about this move is that you actually can manually detonate it and create the spell field from anywhere you want. Scarlet's second ability is Mystic Projection, and it's her get out of jail free card. This move gives her the ability to fly with a 50% movement speed boost. It has 2 charges. It makes her practically invulnerable to most moves in the game, but she can still be affected by some character moves, for example, the delay effects from Venom's tether. Now even though she's practically invulnerable, enemies can still see you as a red orb, so Scarlet can still be tracked when using this ability. This move also works very well with her jump ability Telekinesis, which gives you the ability to slowly fall. And last, but of course not least, her ultimate ability, Reality Erasure. This ability is extremely powerful. It gives you free flight to move around as you wish and unleashes a spherical spell field, doing 750 damage. Now the downside of this move is that during free flight, it takes 4 seconds to fully charge, with a really big indicator to the enemy team, and you're even slowed somewhat towards the end of this charge. So you're extremely vulnerable during this time, so knowing when, where, and how to use this move will be the difference between being a sitting duck or play of the game. Now that we got the basics out of the way, let's get into some tips, tricks, and game plan when using the witch. I see a lot of Scarlet Witch players fighting on the ground, and while this can work, it seems like people forget one thing, that she can fly. To play Scarlet Witch effectively, you want to be in the air as much as possible. Since her Mystic Projection has 2 charges, using one of them to get airborne is an effective way to do consistent damage and pick off players that aren't paying attention to what's above them. By also using this ability, you can counter and go after enemies who are normally airborne, such as Iron Man, Storm, Hela, and even Rocket and Star-Lord. Her Dark Seal ability has many uses and can be used in a variety of situations. Because you can position the ability wherever you want, you can use it to seal off doorways, corners, hallways, and any narrow entries for a duration of 4.5 seconds. This allows you to zone or even retreat and get back to your team if you're out of position. Now, one of the downsides I mentioned earlier is that Scarlet Witch doesn't have a high damage burst output, so she can often be targeted by divers and close quarter characters like Iron Fist, Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Psylocke. Since they often fight in melee range, with the exception of Psylocke, you can shoot the Dark Seal downwards towards your feet or theirs, potentially stunning them and allowing you to do some damage with Thonian Burst or get away depending on the situation. In the same manner, if you see an enemy trying to escape and get away from you, throw your Dark Seal at them to temporarily stop them, then use your other moves to finish them off. Scarlet Witch can be classified as more of a support style DPS character, who best serves her team when she can be close and in the middle of the fight amongst everyone else. Her ability to consistently sap enemies' health can absolutely rack up damage and assist the team on getting eliminations. When you're fighting with your team in a battle, using her Dark Seal in the middle of the point or in front of the convoy where most of the enemy is fighting is a really good use of this ability. You can easily stun some enemies to allow your team to get that kill confirmed. Because of her smaller health pool and lower damage burst output, taking unnecessary one-on-one battles is really not the best strategy. While some of these are winnable, there are many characters that can just simply out DPS her, so fighting with her team is really where she will thrive. If you do choose to go off by yourself, be sure to have at least one charge of Mystic Projection available to escape from battles where really you have a disadvantage. While in this form, you are unable to be healed by your teammates, but you are able to pick up health packs, so knowing where every single health pack spawn is on the map is extremely crucial to your survivability.
This statue is sacred. We must keep it safe.
Scarlet Witch actually has one of the best ultimates in the game. Now, when I say best, what I really mean by that is that it has a pretty high damage burst at 750 and a chance to wipe out a lot of enemies in one move. But because of the power of this move, it's actually been made extremely counterable. There are several characters in the game that can easily stop you with a stun or a CC ability, such as Penny Parker, Mantis, Spider-Man, Luna Snow, Winter Soldier,
2 hours later,
Hulk, Wolverine, and even Squirrel Girl. So yeah, just throwing out her ult won't do you any good.
Made a huge mistake.
Most people try and get kills with her ultimate, and while that is great, it's not always the best play. So to get the most out of her ult, I would say there are 3 main ways and situations to use it. Number 1, a decoy or distraction. Because her ult is shown to the entire enemy team by an indicator, you can use that to your advantage. Once you pop her ult, all eyes will be on you, which means the opposing team focus shifts away from the point and your teammates. This can create an opening for your team to dish out free damage, secure a few eliminations, or make a play on the objective. Sometimes, drawing the enemy's attention can be just as impactful as landing the perfect play yourself. Number 2, the pop-out surprise. The most popular way to use her ult is to activate it from cover in the final few seconds, minimizing the time the enemy team has to react. Since it takes about 4 seconds to fully charge, a smart strategy is to stay behind cover for the first 2 seconds, then pop out for the final 2 seconds to secure the kills. Keep an eye on the third orb. When this appears, that's your cue to start positioning yourself to move in on the enemy team. And number 3, in the midst of your team. Since you should already be fighting near your team, using Scarlet Witch's ult in the middle of a fight can actually be pretty effective. With all the chaos that's happening, the enemy team often doesn't have enough time to react and focus on you. However, this strategy really works best if you have reliable healers backing you up. So if your teammates aren't great, I would exercise caution with using this strategy. If you didn't know already, most characters in this game actually have about 1 to 2 combo routes that you can use to optimize your damage output and kill confirm potential, and Scarlet Witch is no different. As with any character, getting in the habit of using their entire kit in almost every encounter is your path to mastering that character.
This statue is sacred.
Wanda's combos are pretty simple and similar, and her moves all tie into one another. For her first combo, if you have Dark Seal off cooldown, throw that first, then follow it immediately with one Thonian Burst, hold down your Chaos Control, then follow with two Thonian Bursts
So it
back to back.
begins.
When using the Thonian Burst, make sure to hit the target directly. Even though this move is an AoE burst and can be shot at the ground, it actually does about 50% less damage when not making direct contact. Her second combo is literally the same thing, just without the Dark Seal at the beginning. Open with a Thonian Burst, then Chaos Control, then two Thonian Bursts. Both of these combos can also be used while in the air, so use her Mystic Projection to get height first, then rain down the damage. Well, that's all I got for you guys. Thanks for watching. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more tips, tricks, and gameplay breakdowns. Let us know in the comments how you're using Scarlet Witch, or if there's a hero you want us to cover next. Until then, good luck out there, and I'll see you in the next video. If you're into competitive gaming or just looking to have some fun, come check out TVO's Vanguardian League. Starting in January, we're running matches every single week with 3 weeks of preseason, 8 weeks of qualifiers, and over $1,000 prize pool, bringing together the best players and Marvel rivals for intense matches and some crazy plays. Whether you're here to just compete or just hang out and watch the hype, we've got a spot for you. So join our Discord, the link's in the description. That way you can stay in the loop, connect with the community, and maybe even join the action yourself. I promise, this isn't something you want to miss. See you there.